free college football picks. This is week 10, part 2. I'm Tony T here with our college football pick show here for Tuesday's action. Now, if you're looking for Tuesday's games, we shot a separate video for those. These are week 10 games for Saturday. We'll have 11 games for you. We'll do them in parts. Before we get underway, just want to let you know that TonySpeaks.com is brought to you by Rhythm. Create custom sports betting models right now at Rhythm. You can download the app over at the Apple, Android, or Google Store. You can create your custom sports betting models, and of course, it saves you a lot of time. For me, it saves me between 30 minutes and 2 hours of handicapping because I still do all the thinking when I create models. I create my own factors in my modeling, but Rhythm takes care of all the grunt work like scraping odds, stats, scores, finding out the edges, looking at the variances, and so forth, and separating spreads, totals, money lines. All that work is time consuming and costly. Well, Rhythm takes care of it. Matter of fact, you can claim your 14-day free trial right now. And of course, beyond that, I would recommend the custom. For $3.33 a day, I'm saving 30 minutes to 2 hours a day in handicapping because of that grunt work that goes into modeling and setting. You are pretty much setting your own numbers because you are creating the factors in your model. That's a huge. A lot of people say they create their own models. What they're doing is just taking other people's work to create. You are creating your model on your own because you are actually taking the factors and setting them for yourself. So I just want to make that point. It's very important because a lot of people say they make their own numbers. They're not really doing that. All right. Also, if you would support our channel and subscribe, free college football picks updated all season long. Free picks every day from all the major sports like NBA, like NFL, like Major League Baseball playoffs, NHL. Of course, college basketball is just a week away, making it a great time to subscribe. And also, if you would support our channel with that thumbs up, we greatly appreciate it. Then visit Tony'sPicks.com. We're a multi-capper site showcasing top cappers in our industry. Click the links to the hot cappers. Get signed up to our long-term passes. Hot cappers out here like Ramon Scott for the year, Joseph Schultz. Chauncey Giles, what a great start for Chauncey. Hollywood Sam has been on absolute fire right now. Ben Ruhala, Daniel Walsachuk, great numbers, great NFL numbers. Marlon Pettis, another new addition, really hot out of the blocks. So has been Eli Richards, Ron Crawford, smart, strong day. Nick Martini come in with him. Hey man, this man, when he strikes hot, he strikes it hot. 5-0 for Nick Marlin as well. Click the links, get signed up to our long-term passes. You'll find our latest print picks here, center of the page. Of course, you can click the links for our best bet, our $15 promotional item, multi-packs and props offered at Tony'sPicks.com. Individual one-day passes, one-day packages are sold at profit guarantee. Must turn a profit or the amount you purchase is credited back to your account for site credits. That is profit guarantee. You may purchase our plays a la carte from the Pick Ticker. There you'll have team versus team information as well as prop information. And you can save 20% off all pre and pick packages when you use that promo code TonyT at checkout. Access our page by clicking the link you see there in the description. Click the All Cappers tab, get signed up. Always love to hear from you guys, so post your picks in the comments, and we're all looking for cappers. Apply on that homepage. All right, let's get this one started. Navy and Temple College, a football pick. This one here on Saturday. Navy fell to 3-4 with their 17-6 home defeat to the Air Force. Midshipmen rushed for 22 yards, 137 yards on 35 carries. They allowed 137 yards rushing to the Falcons with 151 passing on 5 attempts. Ty Labate hit 13 of 23 passes for 96 yards with a touchdown and 2 interceptions. He rushed for only 3 yards, 3 times for 8 yards. Temple fell to 2-6, a 55-zip home defeat to SMU. Owls rushed for 224 yards on 25 carries. They allowed 205 yards rushing to the Mustangs with 358 passing yards on 43 attempts. E.J. Warner expected to return from his concussion as he practiced on Monday. Warner on the year, 56% completion rate, 6.4 yards per pass attempt. He has 12 touchdowns, 5 picks. Temple, 116th in the nation in offensive yards per play at 4.9. They struggle with their running game and are an inefficient passing team. Navy, high volume running, so expect a high volume of rushes from the midshipmen. They have played to under in 3 straight and have shown defensive improvement over their past few games. The play will be Navy and Temple under 42.5. Army and Air Force college football pick. This one here on Saturday. Game played in Denver, Colorado, neutral site. Army fell to 2-6 with their 21-14 home defeat to UMass. Black Knights rushed for 204 yards on 42 attempts. They surrendered 231 yards on the ground to the Minutemen with 121 passing on 23 attempts. Army had a -3 turnover margin. Bryson Daly hit 3 of 13 passes for 28 yards and 2 interceptions. He averaged 2.2 yards per pass attempt and rushed for 58 yards and a touchdown. Air Force is a perfect 8-0 after their 30-13 road win at Colorado State. Falcons rushed for 267 yards on 54 carries. They limited the Rams to 2.1 yards per rush with 297 passing on 45 attempts. Zach Lear, 4 of 7 passing for 32 yards and a touchdown. He averaged 4.6 yards per rush and had a rushing touchdown. These teams run familiar offenses and know each other well. Both teams run at a high volume of rushing attempts, so there will be fewer ball possessions on both sides. Army is running for 4 yards per rush, and with their limited pass attempts have made big plays downfield. Play her Army plus the 19. FAU and UAB college football pick. This one here Saturday. FAU improved to 4-4 with their 38-16 road win at Charlotte. The Owls rushed for 131 yards on 26 carries. They allowed 161 yards passing to the 49ers with 161 yards rushing to the 49ers with 164 passing on 35 attempts. Daniel Richardson completed 19 of 26 passes for 218 yards with 3 touchdowns and an interception. He averaged 8.4 yards per pass attempt. UAB sits at 2-6, a 45-21 home defeat 2 weeks ago to Memphis. The Blazers rushed for 208 yards on 39 carries. They surrendered 193 rushing yards to the Tigers with 159 passing on 28 attempts. UAB had a -4 turnover margin. Jacob Zeno missed the game due to injury and is questionable. He has completed 74% of his passes with 7.5 yards per pass attempt. Landry Liddy started and hit 6 of 9 passes for 68 yards with a touchdown and 2 interceptions. He averaged 7.6 yards per pass attempt. The Blazers rotated 3 quarterbacks. UAB is 113th in the nation in total defense as they allow 419 yards a game, 5.4 yards per rush. FAU offense in conference is putting up 31 points and 370 yards a game. UAB is allowing 309 yards and 39 points per game against conference foes. The Blazers quarterback situation a concern, and they have lost 6 of 7 against FBS teams. Play here FAU at -2.5. UTSA and North Texas college football pick. Here we go for Saturday's action. All right, UTSA 5-3 after a 41-27 home victory to East Carolina. Roadrunners rushed for 120 yards on 32 carries. They surrendered 141 rushing yards to the Pirates with 226 passing on 43 attempts. Frank Harris completed 20 of 32 passes for 395 yards with 4 touchdowns and an interception. He averaged 12.3 yards per pass attempt. North Texas drops to 3-5, a 45-42 home defeat to Memphis. Mean Green rushed for 180 yards on 24 carries. They surrendered 270 yards rushing to the Tigers with 330 passing on 28 attempts. Chandler Rogers hit 32 of 49 passes for 411 yards and 5 touchdowns. He averaged 8.4 yards per pass attempt. Roadrunners on the road have gone under in 3 of 4. In conference, they hold opponents at 23 points a game. North Texas has gone under in 3 of 4. UTSA holds teams at 3.6 yards per rush and do a great job in pass defense. Play here UTSA and North Texas under 70.5 points. USF and Memphis college football pick. This one here on Saturday. USF improved to 4-4 with a 24-21 road win 2 weeks ago at UConn. The Bulls rushed for 260 yards on 49 carries. They surrendered 193 yards on the ground to the Huskies with 175 passing on 34 attempts. South Florida had a +3 turnover margin. Byron Brown hit 27 of 39 passes for 203 yards with an interception. He averaged 5.2 yards per pass attempt and rushed for 61 yards and a touchdown. Memphis improved to 6-2. A 45-42 road win at North Texas. The Tigers rushed for 270 yards on 41 carries. They surrendered 180 yards on the ground to the Mean Green with 411 yards passing on 50 attempts. Seth Hennigan, 22 of 28 passing for 330 yards and a touchdown. USF offensive production a concern as they put up only 14 points a game at home. And FAU 24 at UConn. South Florida is not an efficient passing team. Play here USF and Memphis under 68.5. Louisiana and Arkansas State college football pick. This one here on Saturday. Louisiana is 5-3 with their 33-20 road win at South Alabama. The Raging Cajuns rushed for 203 yards. They allowed 117 yards rushing to the Jaguars with 381 passing on 49 attempts. Louisiana had a +3 turnover margin. Zeon Chris hit 13 of 17 passes for 149 yards and 2 touchdowns. He averaged 8.5 yards per pass attempt. Arkansas State improved to 4-4, a 34-24 road win at UL Monroe. Red Wolves rushed for 159 yards on 36 carries. They allowed 4.2 yards per rush to the Warhawks with 300 passing yards on 45 attempts. Jalen Rayner hit 15 of 30 passes for 298 yards with a touchdown and interception. He averaged 9.9 yards per pass attempt and had a rushing touchdown. Louisiana struggles with pass defense by allowing 64% completion rate, 11.9 yards per completion, 7.7 yards per pass attempt. South Alabama makes big plays in the passing game with 14.6 yards per completion, 8 yards per pass attempt. Arkansas State at home moves the football for 390 yards a game. Louisiana against the Sun Belt, allowing 441 yards a game. Play here will be Arkansas State plus the 9.5. Iowa and Northwestern college football pick. This one here is on Saturday. Game will be played neutral field, Wrigley Field in Chicago. Iowa fell to 6-2 with their 12-10 home defeat to Minnesota. Hawkeyes rushed for 11 yards on 28 carries. They held the Golden Gophers at 2.5 yards per rush with 126 passing yards on 25 attempts. Iowa had a -3 turnover margin. Deacon Hill hit 10 of 28 passes for 116 yards and an interception. He averaged 4.1 yards per pass attempt and rushed for a touchdown. Northwestern improved to 4-4 after their 33-27 home victory to Maryland. Wildcats rushed for 99 yards on 40 carries. They allowed over 4 yards per rush to the Terrapins with 274 passing yards on 47 attempts. Northwestern had a +2 turnover margin. Ben Bryant has an upper body injury and is doubtful. Brendan Sullivan in relief completed 16 of 23 passes for 265 yards and 2 touchdowns. He averaged 11.5 yards per pass attempt and rushed for 56 yards. Iowa has a 133rd ranked offense in college football by averaging 232 yards a game. They rushed for 3.5 yards a carry and last in quarterback rating. Northwestern defends well but sits 121st in total offense. The Wildcats, they're running for just 2.9 yards a carry. The Hawkeyes, a stout defensive team as they stop the run and near the top of college football in pass defense. Play here, Iowa and Northwestern under 31. Missouri and Georgia college football pick. This one here Saturday. Missouri moves to 7-1 with their 34-12 home victory 2 weeks ago to South Carolina. Tigers rushed for 220 yards on 41 carries. They limited the Gamecocks at 2.3 yards per rush with 217 passing on 40 attempts. Brady Cook hit 14 of 24 passes for 198 yards with a touchdown. He averaged 8.3 yards per pass attempt and rushed for 64 yards and a touchdown. Georgia, they're moved to 8-0. A 43-20 neutral site win to Florida. Bulldogs rushed for 171 yards on 38 carries. They allowed 4.2 yards per rush to the Gators with 230 passing yards on 34 attempts. Carson Beck, 19 of 28 passing for 315 yards and 2 touchdowns. He averaged 11.3 yards per pass attempt. Georgia is playing at a higher level right now. They sit 8th in total defense, exceptionally stopping both the run and the pass. They are 4th ranked offense by averaging 506 yards a game. They run for 5 yards a carry, have an efficient passing game. That blowout against Kentucky, 51-13, was impressive. Missouri gave up 49 to LSU at home, and Georgia's a much better defensive team. Play here, Georgia, minus 15.5. Florida State and Pittsburgh college football pick. This one here is on Saturday. All right, Florida 8-0, a 41-16 road victory to Wake Forest. Seminoles rushed for 126 yards on 30 carries. They held the Demon Deacons to 2.7 yards per rush with 82 passing yards on 16 carries. Jordan Travis, 22 of 35 passing for 359 yards and 3 touchdowns. He averaged 10.3 yards per pass attempt and had a rushing touchdown. Pitt fell to 2-6, a 58-7 road defeat at Notre Dame. The Panthers rushed for 53 yards on 19 carries. They surrendered 155 rushing yards to the Fighting Irish with 380 passing on 32 attempts. Notre Dame had 2 turnovers and forced 5 away from the Panthers. Christian Velo hit 14 of 29 passes for 127 yards and 4 interceptions. He averaged 4.4 yards per pass attempt. Florida State 22nd total offense by averaging 453 yards a game. They are efficient in the passing game. Pittsburgh struggles in pass defense and gives up big plays. The Panthers' offense at home puts up 32 points and 341 yards a game. Play here Florida State and Pitt over 51. Virginia Tech and Louisville college football pick. This one here on Saturday. Virginia Tech 4-4 after a 38-10 home victory to Syracuse. Hokies rushed for 318 yards on 53 carries. They allowed no rushing yards to the Orange on 25 carries with 137 passing yards on 18 attempts. Grant Wells missed the game against Syracuse with an ankle injury. He is questionable for Saturday. Kyron Drones, 15 of 24 passing for 194 yards with a touchdown. He averaged 8.1 yards per pass attempt and rushed for 56 yards. Louisville improved to 7-1, a 23-zip home victory to Duke. Cardinals rushed for 234 yards on 48 carries. They limited the Blue Devils to 2.5 yards per rush with 151 passing on 28 attempts. Jack Plummer, 11 of 16 passing for 117 yards. He averaged 7.3 yards per pass attempt. Louisville defense is 15th in the nation by allowing 303 yards a game and only 3 yards per rush. Virginia Tech has issues with quarterback accuracy. Virginia Tech has been outstanding in pass defense. In conference, the Hokies are averaging 281 yards a game. The play here will be Virginia Tech and Louisville under 48.5. Houston and Baylor college football pick. This one here is on Saturday. Houston fell to 3-5 with their 41-0 road defeat to Kansas State. Cougars rushed for 113 yards on 26 carries. They allowed 179 yards rushing to the Wildcats with 215 passing. Donovan Smith completed 13 of 28 passes for 88 yards and an interception. He averaged 3.1 yards per pass attempt. Baylor fell to 3-5, a 30-18 home defeat to Iowa State. Bears rushed for 67 yards on 25 carries. They allowed 162 yards rushing to the Cyclones with 238 passing on 31 attempts. Blake Shapen at 24 of 41 passing for 239 yards with a touchdown and interception. He averaged 5.8 yards per pass attempt. Baylor defense has given up 5.1 yards per rush and poor in pass defense. They are 116th in the nation by allowing 6.2 yards per play. Baylor offensively rushes for only 3.3 yards per carry. They struggle with quarterback accuracy. And get this, the Bears 0-5 straight up at home where they average 16 points a game and give up 34. Play here Houston plus the 4. All right, that was our college football pick show here for Tuesday. This was week 10, part 2. That was 11 games for you. Now, if you're looking for the Tuesday game, we shot a separate video for those. We're going to get these done in 5 parts. We should have all done here by Thursday night. Friday morning. So that's how we do it here. We cover every game, every game. Okay. As far as I look at it, if you're a professional handicapper, the lower, obviously there's a lot of value here in the lower mid majors, and that's what people look for us for to cover those games. Anybody can handicap Georgia and Missouri, right? Anybody, but the small conference games, that's what professional handicappers should be doing. All right. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We have free college football picks updated all season long. Free picks every day from all the major sports like NBA, like college basketball just a few days away. We also have NFL, college football, NHL, lots of live shows with lots of cappers giving out live plays over our channel, making it a great time to subscribe. And also, if you would support our channel with a like, a thumbs up, we greatly appreciate it. And remember to visit our site, Tony'sPicks.com, for our best plays. Our premium picks are there. So get over there and get signed up. Use that promo code TonyT at checkout. Save the 20% off. You'll find the link to our site in the description. And remember, Tony'sPicks.com is brought to you by Rhythm. Create custom sports betting models like I do right now at Rhythm. And I save about 30 minutes to 2 hours a day in handicapping because, quite frankly, you do all the thinking with Rhythm. You create your models using your core your core functions in the model, and Rhythm takes care of the rest. They scrape the data, they get the odds for you, they grade them for you, they bring in the stats, they find their variances, money line spreads, totals, and record keep, and shows you a ATS, money line, and ROI history of your model, so you know going into it whether it's a good model or one that needs work. So I recommend it to everybody out there, especially our audience. Our audience is very sophisticated here. I understand there's prediction sites out there. There are tools out there that spit data and spit stats to you and spit predictions. But frankly, that's their work. We don't even know how they're getting their numbers. With Rhythm, you're in control. It's your mind. It's your model. It's your formula. And that's what you guys want. That makes you sophisticated, makes you stand above the rest because you're willing to put your own mind, thoughts, and your own practices into the model and not just using somebody else's work. All right. I know that's what you guys want on our channel. We have a very sophisticated audience. I can tell when we do our live shows and we get the chat responses. So I recommend you guys take advantage of that free 14-day trial with Rhythm. Download on the Apple, Google, and Android devices. All right. That'll do it. Tony T, we'll talk to you guys later.